Hello, my Simply Impeccable students. By now, you may understand the method to my madness. This course topic was strategically placed as one of the last course topics because we cannot steward our most impeccable asset, which is time. Truly, it's our most impeccable asset. You think about our relationships, our money, cars, homes, right? There's nothing that compares to time. You don't get more of it. And we don't know when it's going to run out. So being able to steward our time is so important, but we cannot steward our time until we become super aware of our brain and our default thoughts, until we get really clear on our values, our boundaries, our decisions, our goals, the whys behind all of that, so that we have the anchor thoughts that propel us, that give us that feeling place of excitement and motivation, that propel us to take action. Because committing to your time is an action. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in such an impeccable, masterful way today that you'll never go back to any other way of doing things. So we don't need to belabor this topic by any means. That's why I only am creating this one video. But if you take everything that I teach you today and apply it in your life, game changer. So good. It's actually so funny because so many people will call me crazy. They're like, Amanda, you're so crazy, all the stuff that you get done in one day. And I'm thinking to myself, crazy? I get more done in one day than you probably do in 3 months' time. I get stuff done that lends to my relationships, to my self-care, to organization, to freedom, to money, to serving others. I put my head on my pillow at night with very minimal open loops because I am honoring my time and stewarding it properly. We only get this one life, this one temporal life. We only get so much time. So every time I hear, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Lamest excuse ever, ever. We find time for exactly what we want to find time to do. I have met so many people who have started businesses while homeschooling their children out of their beat up car. So don't tell me you can't find time to get after your values and your goals and really start committing to yourself and to a plan that's going to serve you. Don't tell me that. Don't even tell me. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I want to show you exactly what I do to maximize my most impeccable asset, which is time. Here we are. Whoops. Okay. So I love that this is our first slide, right? I think of the hourglass in The Wizard of Oz. I'll get you, my pretty. You have what? I don't even know how much time she gave her, right? But this notion that we don't get the time back. It's our greatest asset. And we are all created equal in that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. That is an ultimate truth right there. We all have 24 hours in a day that can absolutely become a belief that you adopt, an anchor thought that you adopt, so that you stop defaulting to that lame excuse. And I think many of you that are here do not default there, or at least recognize that that's an excuse, right? We are all created equal in that we have 24 hours in a day. So I promise you that you can find time and you will find time. Okay. So what I do to truly maximize my time and steward my time in a way that aligns with my goals and my values and kind of like fills the buckets, right? Like that when you think about that wheel of life, it fills the money bucket, it fills the relationship bucket, the career bucket, the connection bucket, the personal growth bucket, right? All of these different buckets, which again can be our goals. And we already talked about goals. We talked about recommitting to our goals, getting clear on those goals, not having 5,000 goals, just 3 or 4 bigger goals with maybe some sub goals underneath, right? But when you look at all of that, right, you've decided those goals, you have the whys behind them, you have the anchor thoughts, you've made the decisions, you've aligned intentions to them. You've aligned intentions about not only what you want, but who you want to be. All of that gets to be plugged in to your Sunday audit. So I'm kind of like jumping ahead a little bit, but we're going to kind of go back and forth. When you plug in, when you just kind of create this like dump, this Sunday dump, this Sunday audit, right? Just dumping out the list of things that you need to do and the things that you want to do. Okay. This is actually something like real time. These are all the things that I kind of like need to do, have to do, want to do, kind of some mundane tasks, right? You can see my list right here. Some of them align to my goals, my business goals, my personal goals. And so I'll show you what that looks like. I really want to, organize another closet that's like driving me nuts, right? Need to do, want to do, you dump it all out and then you prioritize in your calendar. But I want to just take it one step further. I want you to think about the macro level. Okay. So I'm showing you kind of what I do. I do use my computer as well, my computer calendar. That is more for my business. I also have a monthly checklist that I use strictly for my business. But in essence, this is kind of how I take my goals for the year and I funnel backwards in alignment with my values, in alignment with what I want for my life, who I want to be. I take those yearly goals and then I funnel them into my weekly audit and my weekly plan, okay? So when you look at the big picture of the year, and we did this in the goal setting course topic, right? The recommitting to your goals topic, really taking those quarterly goals and then being able to plug them into your week using the Sunday audit. So that top left, my left quadrant of these images is my yearly goals. Okay, my 2023 goals, they're personal and professional and business and spiritual goals and family goals, right? So I have 4 big goals with some sub goals underneath. Taking that and then looking at my yearly plan for my business, right? I've created my goals that align with my values. I've gotten really, really clear on the amount of money that I want to make. So then I created my business plan based off of that, right? So stewarding your time in this way, it just allows for such clarity and freedom too. It's just amazing. So you take your yearly goals, a yearly plan, your quarterly goals, however you want to look at this, whether you want to use your phone or a computer, or if you want to do something hard copy. I print these out and then I utilize not only my hard copy planner, but like I said, my computer as well. But it's the same premise in terms of really dumping everything out based on the goals and the core values and the buckets that you want to fill and working backwards from those bigger, larger goals and funneling them into your week. So you dump them out in your Sunday audit and then you commit to them in your calendar. So if you'll notice the upper right-hand quadrant, I have my monthly calendar. So yearly, monthly, Sunday audit, so I can plug it into my week. And even more specifically, I can plug it into specific days and times. There's obviously things that need to get done, right? Like the kids have their little activities. We have, certain things that are kind of set on our calendar, set on our schedule. There's things that I just now habitually wake up and do. So I don't necessarily need to dump that on my Sunday audit. But I need to reschedule my gynecology appointment this week. That's happening on Thursday in the afternoon. I'm making that phone call. So when we do this, when we take it from the grander level and bring it down to that micro level, that smaller level, yearly, monthly, weekly, specifically weekly using that Sunday audit, and then committing by using a time blocking strategy, which is so key. Like I didn't invent this. It's just so straightforward and so simple and so magical, but this takes time. We don't want to sit and look at our yearly goals and map them out and like consider what they get to look like and think about the possibility. This is why we need a coach brain before we do some of this work. You need to be clear on your goals, the why, the anchor thoughts, and then this becomes easier. Sitting down to actually do this becomes like a powerful aligned action in terms of really getting after your goals and your dreams and honoring that impeccable asset, which is time. When you time block, think about what time blocking really is. I know some of you are looking at this and you might be thinking, ugh, schedule, ugh, discipline, ugh, monotony, ugh, mundane tasks that have to get done, ugh, overwhelm. If those are some of the default thoughts happening right now, I need you to shift. Time blocking is just a plan to commit to yourself. This is a plan to commit to yourself. Sitting down with your goals at the macro level, the values that you have, who you want to be, what you want to do, and then taking them and plugging them into each Sunday audit so that you can create a week that looks like this. You are going to make space to really get after the hard work, the deep work. Like think about doing the hardest things first and getting them actually accomplished. So you've closed those loops and you've actually seen the higher quality results because you've done that high quality work, that hard work, that deep work. Time blocking is a plan to commit to yourself, and it's a plan to easily check things off the list faster. Rescheduling my gynecology appointment 10 years ago would have taken me 3 weeks. It would have just been on a random to-do list or a random post-it with a little checkbox next to it, and it would have kept, the post-it would have kept moving week to week to week to week to week. When you can check off the easy things quickly and effortlessly because they're in your calendar, because you've allowed yourself to audit that out and then plug it in and commit to a time and a day to reschedule your gynecology appointment, your dentist appointment, the random little things that take 2 seconds. It takes 2 minutes to reschedule an appointment, basically. Like, I mean, really, if you were to count, like put a timer on to reschedule a simple appointment, 2 minutes, 5 minutes tops. You check those things off faster, you close those loops faster. Then you're not on cognitive overload. Like I said, it provides this clarity and this freedom. It allows you to follow through on your goals, which then lead to those results, which build the confidence and the competency and the consistency to keep showing up and doing this. It's so powerful when we show up and we time block and we really truly commit to ourselves in this way. I told you, this is not rocket science. I didn't make up time blocking, but I'm telling you, using this is so powerful. And here's the deal. It's going to feel a little challenging to do this Sunday audit every Sunday evening or every Sunday morning, whenever you decide to do it. It's going to feel challenging at first. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. Pulling out the calendar to plug this in, it's going to take you a half hour. Our brain does not want to do that, right? It wants to conserve the energy. It doesn't want to do the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, because if this is new to you, it's going to feel uncomfortable. We're going to want to resist that. Meanwhile, it yields so many powerful results. When you steward your time like this, when you steward this most impeccable asset, which is time, you are going to find all of the results on the other side. So get after it. Use your daily plan. Part of the application for this module includes the daily plan. Years ago, I used to do exactly that. I wasn't necessarily taking the macro level, but I was at least focused on the weekly and daily level of really committing to myself. So that daily plan, that Sunday audit, and that daily plan is going to be so powerful so that you can start time blocking and then also getting after like the go-getter results and the goal-getter results. So maybe there's some more massive actions that you want to incorporate that maybe you don't necessarily need to get done this week or you don't necessarily want to do this week, but at least if it's there and you're set up for success because you wrote it down, you're going to see the results of that. So Sunday audit, daily plan, and think about time is your greatest asset. Stop wasting it and do not default to that sneaky little lame ass excuse my language, that you don't have enough time, because it is your most simply impeccable asset. So get after it. I'll see you guys in the next module.